Everyone wants to change the world, to leave their mark on it. All men seek greatness. How does an individual change something as entrenched and massive as a civilization? The obvious answer is to lash out against the system, to proclaim an ideology, to shout axioms against all who oppose that idea. It's easy to become disenfranchised with the establishment, believing it to be inherently bad and corrupt, to seek its destruction without realizing the good. We have an exorbitant amount of food, to the point that our problem is obesity rather than starvation. And social mobility is better than it has been throughout all of our shared human past. The majority of people are no longer destitute peasants. There are, of course, social ills like inequitable opportunity, poverty, and addiction which are worth fighting. But how do we do it effectively? When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. These are the words of Viktor Frankl. He was a Jewish neurologist, psychiatrist, and head of the neurology department at Rothschild Hospital in 1940. Frankl resided in Austria, which was occupied by the Nazis. He was eventually sent to the concentration camps. His parents, his wife, and his brother were also sent to the camps, where the entirety of his immediate family, save for his sister, died. While working in the camps, Frankl studied the people around him to find how some survived when others perished. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. It's not possible to make change by screaming slogans or creating unnecessary division. Change begins by taking responsibility for one's life, questioning every habit like overeating, procrastination, or laziness, and questioning closely held beliefs. This is how you orient yourself towards being a better human being and towards being capable of facing the problems and injustices of society. Change does not come through criticism alone, but by working to create oneself as a better and more balanced individual. Through education, trial and error, and multiple failures, we may become capable of working through social issues, but there is one crucial realization that must occur. To be part of a solution to problems like inequality, redistribution, or drug addiction, the person must realize that they know very little, and that they are likely very wrong in understanding the issue and solving the problem itself. Discussion and continuous study are necessary to battle the entrenchment of beliefs. As Socrates proclaimed, "He is wisest who knows that he knows nothing." The path of moving forward, then, as derived from Frankl, is by working one's way up to competence. The myth of Sisyphus has a man rolling a boulder up a mountain for eternity, only to have it roll back again when he completes the task. Attempting to better oneself and to become competent is the concrete message underlying that myth. Of course, it's a struggle to become useful in a world with 7 billion other people, when we fight neurotic tendencies and compulsions. But that is the battle worth fighting. Radicals and extremists who manipulate protests, who strap bombs on civilians to suit their own agendas, often bring people under their sway because ideologies always proclaim to have all answers. The path of Sisyphus is to reject the ease of blaming an abstracted enemy, to become an individual, and to become competent, pushing the boulder ever upward. Frankl lived in a society that was pathological. Normal men and women bought into an ideology that led to the genocide of millions. Very few people were able to stand on their own moral ground against these actions. This is humanity. The perpetrators of the Holocaust were just like us. susceptible to the spirit of the times, fallible in all regards. Become an individual, think things through, and question your own conclusions. These are the closing words of Frankl's book. A human being is not one thing among others. Things determine each other, but man is self-determining. What he becomes within the limits of the endowment and the environment he has made out of himself. In the concentration camps, for example, in this living laboratory and on this testing ground, we watched and witnessed some of our comrades behaved like swine, while others behaved like saints. Man has both potentialities within himself. Which one is actualized depends on decisions, but not on conditions. Our generation is realistic, for we have come to know man as he really is. After all, man is that being who invented the gas chambers at Auschwitz. However, he is also that being who entered the gas chambers upright with the Lord's Prayer or the Shema Yisrael on his lips. Perhaps it is that what we do now echoes in eternity.